Long ago, in a distant world called Harmonia, people lived in cities surrounded by huge walls. These walls were unusual. They seemed invisible, but you could feel them. They separated families, friends, and even dreams. In a small town called Loomis, there lived a boy named Lux. Every night he would lie on a hill and look up at the stars. He thought the stars were whispering to him, "We are all different, but we shine together. Why can't people do the same?" Lux had always wondered about this, but one day he heard the answer. At night, when the sky was especially clear, Lynx heard the rustle of wings. It was a wise old owl named Aura. Her eyes sparkled like two crystals, reflecting all the starlight. She sat down next to Lux and said, "Lux,
You are not like the others. You see the sky where others see only walls. You can bring light where there is darkness now."
With those words, Aura gave Lux a wooden staff with a shining crystal at the top. She explained,
"This staff shines when your words are sincere. Use it to break down walls and connect hearts."
Lux set off on his journey. His first stop was at a small bridge connecting the two towns. The bridge was old and covered with moss, and people were afraid to even approach it. On the bridge, he met an old man named Cullen. Cullen said, "This bridge hasn't been crossed in a long time. People think there are only dangers beyond it." But Lynx sensed that this was not the case. He raised the staff, and the crystal at its tip began to glow. Lux uttered, "The bridge is not just a road, it is a symbol of the bond between us. If we are afraid, we will remain in our cages. But if we take a step, we will see that there are friends behind the walls." Cullen hesitated and finally took the first step. People from both sides began to cross the bridge. They smiled and hugged like old friends. Next, Lux traveled from city to city. Each wall he met was unique. The people of one city thought their traditions and culture were the only right ones. They looked down on those who lived outside the walls. Lux rose to the dais and said, "Each color in the rainbow is unique, but together they create something more. So do we. Our differences make us stronger if we embrace them." People began to realize that pride need not divide them, and the wall disappeared, leaving behind a wide golden bridge. One day, Lux met a girl named Mira. She was an artist and loved to draw stars, but she had never seen a real starry sky because her city was surrounded by the highest wall in the world. Mira said,
"Lux, this wall will not collapse. It's been here so long that people have forgotten that there's something else behind it."
Lux looked at the staff. Its light grew fainter, and he realized he needed more than words. He needed people who would believe in his dream. He and Mira began to gather the people of the city. Mira drew pictures of the starry sky to remind people of what lies beyond the walls, and Lynx told stories about the cities that had already united. When the people gathered at the Great Wall, Lux raised his staff and said, "This wall is made of our fears and doubts, but if we unite our hearts, it will be no more." Each inhabitant raised a lantern, symbolizing their light. Lux swept his staff through the air, drawing a star map, and the crystal shone so brightly that the wall began to crack. With a crack, it fell, revealing a vast field and a star-studded night sky. People cried and hugged each other, looking at the world that had always been so close but out of reach. Lux watched as the people came together. He smiled and said to Mira, "Now the stars can be together again, like us." That night, Lux disappeared, dissolving into the light of the stars. People say he became the brightest star in the sky to watch over them and remind them that walls can always be broken down. Now in Harmony, they tell children the legend of the boy with the staff who brought light to a dark world. And everyone who sees a shooting star whispers, "Thank you, Lux."